A lot of people hate running. I can't say I blame them. You go to the gym, you get on the treadmill, gym's crowded, packed, noisy, da-dunk, da-dunk, da-dunk. Earbud falls out of your ear, guy next to you farts. I don't like being on treadmills either. So I don't blame you. But you know what? This I can do. Hey guys, welcome to the channel. My name is Andrew Fillion, and today I'll be taking you through my spring training. If this is your first time here, what I've been doing up to this point, I started with a mid-winter cut, and during that, I went through a bunch of different experimental foods to see what was working and what wasn't. But now that it's spring, I'm going to be getting more serious. What I'm going to be doing for my spring training is keeping my diet more consistent while also trying to improve in my cardio. The end goal is still to get to 180 pounds, but it's going to get a little bit more serious from here going forward. How this works, I start every week with initial measurements. That means I'm going to be doing a weigh-in, a waist measurement, and then I'll spin in a circle so you can see my 360 physique. At the end of the week, we're going to do the exact same thing, and we're going to measure how much progress I make. The structure of my diet is going to be as follows. The cornerstone is going to be either bacon or eggs. They're both, to me, interchangeable. I can have one or the other or a mixture of both. This particular week, I'm going strictly with bacon. Beyond that, supplementary foods, I am going to allow myself to have small servings of berries. That can include blueberries, strawberries, bananas. Bananas are in fact a berry, by the way. And additionally, on top of that, I do want to be introducing some sort of probiotic. So that means I'm either going to have Greek yogurt, cottage cheese, sauerkraut, or any combination of the three. But the most important thing is I'm really going for a lot of bacon and eggs here. I'm going to be aiming somewhere between 80 and 90% of my food volume for the day will be coming from either one or the other or both. The berries and the probiotics are supplementary foods that I'm going to use so that I can have fiber intake and get some of the vitamins that you don't necessarily get from eggs and bacon. There's not a whole lot of them, but the big one is vitamin C. We can go in more detail about that later. Beyond that, I'm also going to be incorporating a lot of trail running. Here in Michigan, it is starting to warm up. I've tested the trails and they are dry, which makes me very happy. It's mid-April. Some years it's swampy. This year we lucked out. This week, weather permitting, I'll be running the exact same route at a trail that I discovered every single day with the interest of trying to drive my run times down through the week. Now, as a caveat, I do have a hockey game Thursday, so no matter what, I'm going to have to miss at least one night. Yeah, we'll see about that. But beyond that, this is going to be the format of my training going forward. I also do want to make an announcement. I haven't officially signed up yet, but I have my eye on a few dates for half marathons. Before I even sign up, I do want to make sure that I have certain fitness goals in check. I do want to be able to run a consistent 3-mile run every single day. I do want to at least have one long distance run per week that's going to be 5 miles or more. And if I can, I'd like to get some of these run times down to about a 9-minute mile when I'm not in the trails. Trail running, not worried about run times being 9 minutes, but on pavement, definitely need to get down to a 9-minute mile. With that being said, I'm going to head over there. We're going to take my initial measurements, and then I'm going to show you what we have in store for the week. So like many of you, I used to have a fully remote job, but we had an RTO, return to office policy, much like the rest of the country. We're back in on a hybrid week, which is why I've gone into meal prepping. Some people ask, why is it that I bring this glass Tupperware into work? It's for a simple reason. If I had to divvy this up into servings and I've got multiple Tupperwares I've got to bring to work each day, if I do this one time, I keep it in the refrigerator. It's there when I need it. Empty it out by Thursday, bring it home. I'm good to go. I'm still remote on Fridays. So what I've got in here in the pot, I've got 4 pounds of bacon. I'm gonna divvy that up through the week. I'm not terribly concerned about the serving sizes at work, mostly because I do know up front, if I've got 4 pounds, it's gonna be impossible for me to go over. That should last me, if I divvy it up about 1.5 each day. Gets me through the full work week. When I'm at home, I'm gonna continue eating bacon, but I'm gonna cook that fresh. I do want to have hot bacon at least once per day. The refrigerated kind doesn't bother me entirely, but hey, it's not gonna be hot if I bring it to work. On top of that, I do have blueberries in the freezer. I've got my sauerkraut in the refrigerator, so I'm gonna be pretty good to go as far as my nutrition throughout the week. Beyond that, I did wrap up my first run already. It was really nice. I'm just shy of a 12-minute mile. Now this is trail running. I'm going over roots, stems, rocks, logs, all kinds of fun stuff, including hill climbs. It's been a crazy amount of fun. I'm really enjoying it. It's so much more fun than running on sidewalks. This for me is a big game changer. It really does make running more engaging when you're constantly rerouting and thinking about where your next step is going to be. It takes your mind off of it entirely. If you hate being on a treadmill as much as I do, you might want to give trail running a try. It might open up your perspective back on outdoor cardio and running in particular. For this week, let's just see if I can drop that 12-minute time down to maybe like 11:30, 11:15. As I get better at the trail, I am going to know the run a little better, so I do think I'll find ways to accelerate my run. Speaking of which, why don't we go back to the park and go for one? So we're just about to start the trail. I think what we're gonna do, I'll try to show you guys my favorite part. I'll have you guys hooked up. I've got my mic with me. This is somewhat of an experiment. I'm not entirely certain it's gonna work yet. Fingers crossed. This part of the trail is so awesome. I'll be running over roots, rocks, logs, all kinds of stuff. It's a lot of fun. I'm mic'd up. Let's see how it goes. Now the run time for this one's gonna be definitely off. I mean, for one, I'm running with a regular camera, a regular tripod, and a microphone strapped to my chest. So far this week, I've been doing smaller and smaller times per run. It's been really going well. I started, I believe, at 12:30. Yesterday, I got down to like 11:15. So in even just 1 week, we're down a minute. I'm expecting this run to take a lot longer. I'll probably disconnect the camera after the first mile through the woods. In general, trail running is a lot of fun. Keeps things way more interesting. I've always hated treadmills, so I never got into running for that reason. I did a lot of cycling, and I did like that. And I gotta say, man, the trail running is getting that fresh air in your lungs, and everything is so varied and interesting. I really just like it. And it's still kind of chilly, so there's like nobody here. It's been raining basically all week, so the trail's a little bit wet. It's not as warm as I'd like it to be, but by that second or third mile, you're so hot that it doesn't even matter. I don't know if you guys can see this very well, but it's very marshy. It's very marshy. In some parts, you have to really be clever about how you get around it. Once your shoes are soaked, you're basically done. It's just avoid the puddles at all costs. My times go down, they go down. Not too worried about that right now. Diet's going well. Been eating bacon all week. Coworker had a birthday. Hi, George Washington. Cannot tell a lie. Did have a slice of that cake. Might have had two. But I didn't have three. And I've been running so much that the truth of the matter is, I don't think the calories really matter when you're getting this kind of cardio in. I still, in general, don't like having junk food. So the cake is like a very sometimes snack for me. In a perfect world, I'd be 21 for 21 on my meals. But if I can be 17 or 18, that's still a B+. And B pluses are most of the time gonna get you the good grades, get you into your favorite school or whatever. Same deal with dieting. If you got a B+ diet, you'll get there. It might take a little bit longer, but a B+ diet will get you shredded. This is where it starts to get real interesting. We got water. Hopefully you guys can see. It's a little bit flooded. It rained a lot this week. This is not usually that, I don't know if you guys can see this, but it's not usually that overflowed. But it is this time. Oh, I just love this part. Through the roots. Get a little dopamine rush every time. You go through a tree, dopamine. It's awesome. This is where things start to get a little bit more intense. I might not be as talkative from here on out, but I'm gonna let you guys know when my favorite parts come up, which is basically the whole next 5 minutes. That's awesome. Yep. Hey, here's climb. Yeah, normally I would be doing this on my action camera, but the action camera doesn't have a microphone hookup. So even if I wanted to use my lapel mic, I would still have to record the audio file separately. And I'm not that much of a tech wizard, which is why Apple is so awesome, because they make all of this super easy. If you shoot on an iPhone, you basically can't screw up. Now, some people might say, why do you have a podcasting mic strapped to your chest? Why don't you use the lapel mic? It just sounds better, man. When I'm in there post-processing, if I go from this mic to the other mic, even if you guys don't notice it, I do. And it really grinds my gears. Jump. Oh yeah, press X to jump. Oh, here's one of those puddles I was talking about. Yep, more puddles. Even more. Now normally, on the way up, this part can be a little sketchy. And I'm thinking it's going to be at its sketchiest today, because all the mud has had time to kind of accumulate. So the ascent might be kind of slippery. Mic'd up on a run? Press X to jump? Okay. Whoa. This is where it starts getting real steep. Ooh. Oh. All right, first turn. Okay. This is where it gets interesting, boys. There might be like 6 girls that watch that, so boys and 6 girls. Holy. Oh. Holy. Oh. There we go. Hardest part's over. Now the downward descent, just as fun and like 50 times easier. Yep. Left. Oh yeah, let's go right. Yep. I'll go right again. Then left. Oh, roots. Now let's go left. We go left. Press X. Jump, baby. Oh, we got a big one coming up. We got a big log. Big log. Here we go. And another one, baby. Press X. Oh. Trail running is awesome. Way better than a boring ass treadmill that goes nowhere. All right, final boss. All right. So pretty soon here, I'm gonna remerge back into like the normal trail. At that point, I'm gonna put the camera away and just focus on the next 3 miles. This is great. I love it. I'm addicted to it. I've always hated running until I gave this a try. I'm not saying I'm an expert, but it would be cool if I got there someday. Tree runner eats nothing but bacon and blueberries and a little bit of sauerkraut. All right, and there we have it. That is the end of that loop. There's 2 more loops, but they're a little bit more like normal, you know, mulch and stuff like that. Hopefully this footage is usable. I'll probably see you guys at the weekly recap. Till then.
All right, welcome to the weekly recap. I'm gonna start out with the progress and measurements first. At the start of the week, we were looking at around 202 pounds, and now we're just slightly into the 190s, kind of in between 198 and 199. So with all of that, I've almost dropped 4 pounds, and the great news is I already started this week out in ketosis, which is how I know it's not that much water weight. This is quite a lot of body mass coming off the body in 1 week. The waist measurements, I did start at 31.5. I didn't get the waist measurements down too much, but losing 4 pounds in 1 week, I'm really thrilled with that. If I were to keep that up for even a month, I could probably lose anywhere between 10 and 12 pounds. That actually might be all that I need to get to an ideal physique where I'd be happy with capping things off. But we'll cross that bridge when we get there. What I'm really happy about is the diet. I stuck to bacon pretty much all week while also having quite a lot of blueberries and quite a lot of Greek yogurt and sauerkraut. Now earlier in the video I did mention I wasn't going to have that many blueberries. That ended up not being entirely true. Now one bag of blueberries from Costco, the 3-pound one, is only 700 calories, and I had one of those bags every 3 days. You count that out, we're only looking at roughly 250 calories per day in blueberries. That's not a lot, but trust me, when you're eating blueberries, you can just keep going and going, especially because I have mine frozen. That means I'm able to have a lot of blueberries, and it takes a while to eat them. When they're frozen like that, you can't just dig in and keep going. It takes time to thaw. It almost ends up in a weird way like being hard candy. So I love that. It's been working out great. Turns your entire mouth blue. So if you want to replicate it, just be aware of that. On top of that, at work, we did have lunch catered to us 2 of the 3 days that I was in the office. So both of those did end up being cheat meals, along with a birthday cake for one of my coworkers. That being said, it didn't even really make a difference because I still ended up losing about 4 pounds this week anyways. I really do think that's a testament to not only sticking to the diet that I've been doing, but also all the trail running, which I really want to talk about. When I started the week out, that was my second time ever running that particular trail. But I knew that I liked it so much that I was going to keep doing it every day. It turns out I never missed a day, not even on the night that I played hockey. I ran that trail every single day. It didn't matter to me if it was raining or not. We had a lot of rain Tuesday. In fact, it rained so much that we had tornado sirens going off. Sure enough, I'm that guy that shows up anyways, puddles everywhere. It didn't stop me. I kept running. At that time, my run times were somewhere around 12 minutes to 11:30 as my average pace. As the week continued and as things started to dry up, that went down because I was no longer dodging puddles and trying to run around all of this debris, getting mud in the shoes, etc. By Saturday, I was able to get my run time all the way down to the low 10s. I felt amazing during this run. It really felt like things were starting to come together. At no point did I ever feel winded while doing it, and that one was my speed run. As you can see through the week, I was actually increasing my distance. What would happen is I would run the trail, I would get back to where my truck is, and that's around the 3.5 mile mark. I'd get there and I'd say, you know what? I kind of want to keep going, and so I would. Multiple times this week, I kept running until I got to 5 miles. On those runs, the times did slow down a little bit, as it is a little bit difficult as you increase distance to maintain pace. But the things I'm really excited about is that throughout the week, I was continuously going down in run times while also gradually increasing my distance, and I didn't miss a day regardless of weather. All of these are really solid habit building patterns that I know are going to really propel me going forward. At the beginning of this video, I did mention there were a few half marathons on my radar. Well, I did narrow it down to one. It's going to be on June 15th. That gives me almost exactly 2 months to prepare for this. I'm already running 3.5 miles every single day with a long distance run included, not only once but twice this week. I'm feeling very optimistic that by June I could be way more than just prepared for this race. I actually think I could end up doing pretty well in it. This is my first half marathon. I've done bodybuilding shows in the past. To be honest with you, those aren't really about being healthy, it's about how you look. Running a marathon is a performance activity. I mean, you're really actually going out there to perform. That's not just how you look, it's about how you function. So this is actually a little bit new territory for me, but I'm very excited. I feel so far that I'm definitely on track to have a good debut. And if all of it goes well, who knows, I might even end up with a full marathon at the end of the year. Fingers crossed. We'll cross that bridge when we get there, by the way. In the meantime, I've got one last dinner of bacon before I do it all over again. It's working great, and I'm going to keep at it. Before I let you guys go, I do have one favor to ask you. I am getting so close to the 800 subscriber milestone. If you guys could help me get over that hump, if you've been watching this far, I could really use your help getting there. Now there's one last thing. I want to hear from you guys. Please let me know. Do you like seeing the content of me out in the field doing things like running and working out? If so, I'll continue doing a lot more of that. The bacon and dieting, that's not going anywhere. But I do want to show you guys the complete package so that you really understand all the different pieces that you need to put together so you can get to your ideal physique. With that, guys, I've been Andrew Fillion, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.